So today we are looking at the new mastered in 4K and compressed down for Blu-ray release of Bram Stoker's Dracula from Francis Ford Coppola. This film has its fans and its detractors. I am in the fan category. I've had multiple different versions of this on home release, and it is my favorite of all the Dracula films that have been done, and I've seen most of them. The richest, the most meaningful of the bunch. It's really only let down by a poor casting choice of Keanu Reeves. But other than that, it's a fine cast. Gary Oldman as Dracula is excellent, and my favourite of all the Draculas. Anthony Hopkins is a little over top at times. Winona Ryder's good, and she can often not be good. And there's many other great players, such as Tom Waits, who is marvellous in the role here. This is the German version of the release. I do have a region-free player, but I get a little bit miffed when some of these companies put out Region A locked versions of these large films. So I saw that the German release was region-free, as you can see right here. So I do not know what Sony in America were thinking, making theirs Region A locked. They just lost a purchase, and I went over to Amazon in Germany to order this, and it was cheaper as well. So it contains same transfer. I think the only thing that it might lack, the only thing they didn't transfer over, which does not bother me whatsoever, is the Dolby Atmos on the sound, but everything else is identical. It has all of the special features that the American one has, which I'll go through in a moment. But firstly, let's talk about the picture. The picture of the original Blu-ray release was not that great. People were not a big fan of, and for good reason. It just didn't look right. It didn't look like as good as it should, and this one certainly does. This one looks amazing. There's been a lot of talk about the framing of the film, but I think it's really a non-issue, as the film just looks great and it's not really noticeable. But there is a shade more information on the bottom of the frame and a bit less on the top. Who knows if the previous release wasn't 100% in the right framing. You lose information from the top, you gain some at the bottom. But it's really not much of an issue. It looks so much better that one should not really even care. Who knows what's correct. The audio is great, the surround, great stuff. Despite being the German release, it starts up in English with no subtitles forced on it, so you don't even have to switch the subtitles off or change the audio, which is what I think what Sony does for their releases in Germany, because I have another Sony disc I'm going to talk about in another video that did the same thing. The same with the special features. None of them have subtitles, German subtitles on them. It just plays exactly like the American disc. So now onto the special features. It has all the special features from the last release. It has the audio commentary with director Francis Ford Coppola, which is good. It has the 4 featurettes. The Blood is Life, the making of Bram Stoker's Dracula, costumes are sets, the designs of Iko Ishioka, in camera, the visual effects featurette, and Method and Madness visualizing Dracula, as well as deleted and extended scenes, and the Bram Stoker's Dracula Beware trailer and the Bram Stoker's Dracula theatrical trailer. What it does add, along with this wonderful new picture, is a audio commentary that was previously only available on the Laserdisc, which is with Francis Ford Coppola, visual effects director Roman Coppola, his son, and makeup supervisor Greg Ganem. Now, these have not been recorded together. They've been recorded separately and edited together, which is one of my least favorite ways to listen to a commentary, but there's still some good details in there. There's also 2 new lengthy featurettes, one at half an hour and the other one at 20 minutes. Firstly, one called Reflections in Blood, which is a long interview with Francis Ford Coppola, and Practical Magicians, a collaboration between father and son. It's a closer look at the work between Coppola and his son on the film's visual effects. So some great new features and great new picture. You really can't go wrong. Now, the one thing that has been missing from all the Blu-ray releases, and indeed the collector's edition release of the DVD, was the original non-collector's edition DVD, at least down in the Australasian release, had a featurette that was very similar to the Blood is Life making of Bram Stoker's Dracula, but it had different footage, different interviews. Looks like it was made by a different company, and it had some really good scenes with Gary Oldman sort of breaking down on set, much more so than the ones that you see in the making of Bram Stoker's Dracula. So I don't have that DVD anymore. I remember upgrading to the collector's edition of the DVD back in the day, and then being a little disappointed that that feature wasn't on that, and then was disappointed when it was not on the Blu-ray, and now yet again it's not available. It's probably an Australasian exclusive that has long since been forgotten about. It doesn't provide any more information, but it just had some really interesting moments with Gary Oldman in it. And there's plenty in the featurettes that you see already on the disc, but this had some special ones that I was quite fond of. Other than that, it's got everything here that you could want. This German release does not contain the any kind of booklet that the limited edition, I believe, in America contained, but this has everything else. So just the disc inside, nothing else. So for those not in the Region A area, or even those with a Region Free player who want to support a Region Free disc, the German release is the way to go.
What manner of man is